Tell us about SASA.
Hi, Michael. So SASA software is from Kibbutz SASA in Israel. It's a small kibbutz near the border of Lebanon, but also the primary manufacturer of armored vehicles for the U.S. Army. We've saved the lives of thousands of U.S. troops, and we developed our technology, gate scanner, inside of Plasan SASA to comply with the Department of Defense, then created a new company, SASA Software.
What is it that SASA does differently in comparison with handling threats out there in cyberspace?
Well, first, I think we should say a few words about the reality of cybersecurity today. So we live in a world of what I call a world of zero trust. On one hand, cyber attackers create unique threats that are created uniquely for an organization, many times targeting someone very specific in the organizations. Now, because the threats are new and unique, detection technologies often fail to stop those threats on one hand. And on the other hand, because threats can enter the organization, you're always vulnerable, you're always exposed to potential employee negligence. An employee might open this malicious file, click on it, and then you will be breached. Then you will have a ransomware attack, a data breach attack, or some other type of cyber attack. In fact, the Gartner today says that it takes an organization often over a year to realize that they have been compromised. It takes them often to bring in outside consultant to check, and only the outside consultant says they have a problem. And the reality in healthcare has been amazing. 2016 has been the worst year for healthcare. There have been over 1,000 confirmed data breaches of over 500 records this year. It means that there have been several data breaches like that per day. And the cost is amazing. It's over $400 that it costs an organization for every record that has been breached. So we call this a world of zero trust. You cannot trust your technology to stop the attacks on one hand, and on the other, you cannot stop your employees to behave in a secure way.
And you would be looking at healthcare-specific issues such as DICOM images and threats to that?
Yes, so attackers, DICOM is a very interesting question. Attackers first will look for the easiest way inside of the organization. They will send you an email. They would tempt you to download files from the internet. So they would try to attack your PDF and MS Office, your regular files. But healthcare has its unique ways to attack. So DICOM, imaging files, are another way to attack the organization. It is less common from our experience, but we have seen DICOM attacks. And the big problem with DICOM attacks is that they go directly into the heart of the healthcare's information technology. It goes directly into their EHR, into their healthcare system, and there it can do much more damage than other attacks.
So what is it exactly that SASA does to prevent that?
Right. So since we live in a world of zero trust, and from our background, we believe that you cannot trust incoming files. So we understand that detection technologies will fail, and we do, in addition to detection, what we call file disarming. Our technology knows how to take a file and to transform that file to a new file that can no longer carry threats. We call it file sanitization or content disarm and reconstruction. So we create a new copy of the file that is inerrant, that is neutralized, but still fully usable and full visibility with full functionality. So now think if your employee got this potentially malicious file, he was tempted to click on it, and which eventually will happen, then nothing would happen to the organization. The threat can no longer be activated. The same thing with the DICOM. Even if there was some threat on the DICOM, you now have a file that is safe, that can go inside safely and securely.
But the resulting files are still DICOM files or Windows Office files.
Yes, so there are very small percentage of artifacts, but I think the key thing is that organizations need to understand the reality of the world we live in, the reality that you have to put some restrictions, that you have to do a separation inside of your network, that you can separate between what is public and open to what is sensitive. When organizations understand how difficult the threats are, when healthcare understands how challenging data breaches are, how common they have become, I think that the benefit of security you receive from technologies like ours are just a small price to pay with living with such a security.
Are you active in Europe?
Yes, we have actually won our first or one of our first major customers in Europe. It is one of France's major banks. We are in the process of winning another bank. We also have installations through Teva Pharmaceutical, which is Israel's or the world's largest generic pharmaceutical manufacturer. They have our installations in Europe as well. And we have a chemical manufacturer with our solution installed in Europe. We're present in Singapore, in the United States. In Israel, of course, we are present at over 80% of government offices in Israel. So we protect financial organizations, healthcare organizations, public utilities, electric companies.